are absolutely delighted to have Mattie join us today. She spoke a few years ago, it's been, but now she's got a new book out and her animal communication work is just going bonkers. So all the animals are really happy about that, I'm sure. The two-legged and the four-legged ones.
That's it. Yeah.
And the sometimes three-legged ones, right?
Yes. Yes.
And Mattie has been with Spirit Mind Body for quite some time. And as I mentioned, she's also an author. The name of your new book is
Reclaiming the South Side.
Reclaiming South Side.
It's got some animal stuff in it, some nature stuff in it. It's a little bit of everything.
Fantastic. And I haven't had a chance to read that yet. My stack of books right now reading is just unbelievable, 3 at a time. And but I will get to it. And because as an author and reader, I love to just dive in as well. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it around to Mattie, and she's a little shorter than I am, so I'm going to bring it down a little. Okay, I think that's good. A little closer to you.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Joe is yours.
Okay. So my name is Mattie Coll. I probably, for this sake, will sit. I may at some point get up and walk around. I do animal communication and writing. Those are my 2 gigs right now. And I work at the Alchemist bookstore doing readings, and I'm going to be doing a workshop in October, and I brought flyers in case you're interested in going to it. It's a most excellent store. And I know some of you, but not all of you. So let's see who's here today. And I wanted to start by saying that this is my idea of a good time. I used to be a reading teacher at what was at the time John Tyler Community College. And as far as I'm concerned, this is heaven. Okay, all right. But it's going to be some question and answer, some discussion. It's not going to be me just doing a lecture. And after an hour, I'm going to give us a little bit of a break, 10-minute break. We can scatter, we can walk, we can talk to each other, all those things. And then we'll come back and you will do some work with your own talents. Okay, all right. So who in the room has animals that they live with? Raise your hand. Okay, I thought maybe so. Who in the room has had an animal communication reading either with me or with somebody else? Okay, just a structure, like I alluded to, I'm going to use it as a diving board and not necessarily strictly. Okay, so how are humans and animals alike? What do you think? You can just say, how do you think that humans and animals, and by the way, we're animals too, just want to say, all right, how are humans and animals alike?
Well, we are animals.
Mm-hmm.
We just have humans are in.
They are.
Just have some extra myelination on top of that to confuse us.
Sometimes it does, yes. Yeah, all right.
We feel.
We feel both. Yeah, both, yes.
And we're instinctual.
The instinctual.
Instinctual. But also we are created, I'd say, from source. And they also have a capacity to love.
Love, hate, fear, pain, all of it. Yes.
They like routines.
Oh, yeah, and so do we. They do like routines. Yes,
Some humans do. They'll also adapt whatever they need to do to survive.
yes. Yes, okay, all right. When I was walking in, I could only come up with one or two things that were not alike about. Okay, first of all, we as humans are not the pinnacle of creation, we just aren't. We need to get over that and move past that. Okay, all right, but honestly, I think, they don't send their kids to college. That's one thing. I was gonna say they don't have jobs, but they do have jobs. When your dog is barking at the postman, that's his job. You've also seen, when people have been lost in the mountains with their dog and the dog stays there. I'm sorry, I get choked up, stays there and stays there. That's their job. Yes, it's also about loyalty. It's also about honest to goodness love. If you're a Facebook friend of mine, the phrase I use a lot, hey, is love is love. It is. Love is love. Yes. Okay, so our animals are pets or our companions?
Depends.
Okay. Okay, elaborate.
I do think that the relationship that the pets, the domesticated animals have. It depends, and some animals view themselves as being catered to and attended to by, and other animals advance that a bit more where they're considering it a back and forth.
Oh, it is very interesting. There are animals that are very much doing a back and
Yeah.
forth with us. Yes, what the word I associate with pets is nice kitty, nice dog. I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna make your decisions. Is that accurate? I would say it isn't. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was your question?
Are they our pets or
Yes,
our
oh, right, right.
companions?
No. I can only speak for myself.
Yeah, okay,
Companions,
yeah,
companions, I don't want, an animal.
yeah. And that's what most of us get. I mean, the people who really do think that. It used to be that science thought that animals were just instinctual and they were just kind of instinct robots. And even science has moved off that and realized that there's a lot going on there. If you've ever seen what is it, My Octopus Teacher? Yeah, and there's also out in California. And I guess a giant octopus that's winning everybody's heart. Yeah, that they're companions. Not necessarily equal companions, because we're bigger, but we're not bigger than all of them.
All I cat that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, but we're also honestly not smarter than all of them either. The dolphins and the whales beat us. They have us beat. Elephants, they have us beat. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Okay,
actually, they're about higher intelligence.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
All animals, so.
Oh, okay,
I don't think, I
more.
mean, my cats are far more clever than I am.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think they're higher frequency, higher vibration.
Higher vibration, is that what you said? Yes, it's perfect.
I don't know if anybody's listened to the telepathy tapes or knows about them, but one of the things they talk about is they compare animals and nonverbal autistic kids in a way that they can communicate because they're not distracted by the BS that goes through our prefrontal cortex, all the thoughts. So they
Yes.
may not be more intelligent than we are, but they can tap into an intelligence that we seldom use because of the interference. But we have the same capacity they do.
Yes, we have a focus problem, and it's our brain. Does everybody in here meditate, at least just a little bit? Yeah. What you know from meditation is that the voice, I'm gonna do a Charlie Brown imitation. The voice in our head is always going, beep, beep, blah, 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 blah. And that's very distracting. It distracts me as well. And I've been meditating for 20 years. But at least I know I can set it to the side and focus, which is how I do the communication, setting that blah, blah, blah to the side.
Whereas the animals can definitely focus because they don't have that connection, the same connection with the outer world. Or the outer world's distractions.
Yes. They're not watching CNN, they're not, all that. Not that watching CNN is bad, but that's just
But I
my
know
example. Okay, all right. Do domestic and wild animals have free will? We have free will, and we think that's pretty special. Do they have it too? Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I was a little hopeful that, Laurel, might come today. People and animals both, and we can discuss this if you like. They choose when they're born and they choose when they're leaving as well. They choose it. Yes. Yeah. You know when they're ready to go because what they're doing, they're not eating. They're lying there. I've done, readings where I've tuned in on an animal that's ready to go and they're lying on the floor going, I can't take it anymore, just let me go. If people could do that, they would, I assure you. Yes. We don't let them do that yet, but it's coming.
You can in California.
And you can in DC. And you can in DC. Yes, yeah. Okay, so free will. They can be pets, not pets. They can be companions, not companions. They can be free ranging. They can come and find you because they've heard you in the neighborhood and know you're nice. I had a dog that did that with me. She was a husky and she followed me on one of my walks and then just followed me home. And that was that. Yeah, it was love. Yeah. Okay, so is it better to use words or images to communicate with animals?
I was just watching something last night that said that dogs can learn like 130 words,
Yeah,
but images really are more accurate because they're not, it's the language that's getting away.
right. Sometimes with some animals, those words are like the Charlie Brown voice. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, they know some of it, like, um, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you very much. Okay. I was doing what moms everywhere were doing last week. I was lying in the bed. Just trying to get a nap in, and it was 4 o'clock, and my animals were at the door. My orange cat goes. And my other cat, I do not know how he does it, he opens the door. He brings his paw up under the door and opens the darn thing, and I'm going, oh, come on, kids, just 5 more minutes, oh, come on, but 4 o'clock. I think they know it either from reading my mind, because they do read your mind, okay? Either they're reading my mind about what time it is, or it's the way the sun comes in the window.
All
Okay,
I have to do is say, can I ask you a question? And they're out the door, that's to.
really? That's it, huh?
Yeah, cause the question generally is, are you hungry? They don't even let me get that out. Can I ask you a question?
Okay, so you preface dinner with, can I ask you a question? Okay, that's good.
Are you hungry?
I like it. I call my animals foodies because they like certain foods and they'll eat them for a while, but not forever. And they let me know what they've gotten tired of, just like our friends let us know they're tired of being fed, I don't know, chicken? All right, they, won't eat it and then I'll go off, to something else. Yeah, okay. Okay, images. I would say that images are your absolute best way to communicate with your friends that have fur. Okay, if you can visualize, for example, going out, if you visualize sitting by the door and then leaving out the door. I've been visualizing my dog to get 4 paws down rather than always jumping up, visualizing the 4 paws down. Okay, the better you can visualize, the better you're going to be able to communicate with them. And in the second part of this, you're gonna be communicating with some animals that are mine, and we'll see what kind of images you get from them. Yes, yes, but we also can get knowings. There are people that get knowings, like they feel great, I just know it, or they're happy, I just know it. One of my neighbors has multiple cats, and one of her cats smiles as he walks around. There is a smile on that cat's face, and I say it every time, yeah. His name is Sweetheart, and he is. It's just smile, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, our animal companions, yes, ma'am.
Would an expression on your face be an image?
Yeah. 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 And your physical stance, right, yes. One of my friends, her partner is decisive and would hang over top of the dog, giving decisive commands. The dog did not like that. Let her know. Yes, let her know. Yes. Okay, well, our animal companions always do what we want. Well, what we want. Oh, yeah, let's all laugh about that. Yeah, even if they love you, they're not necessarily always gonna do what you want, like the story I just told about. Them at the door at 4 o'clock saying, give me food and give it to me now. I mean. They're not obeying me, although they can do obeying, like. With, I have a friend that does, what's it called when you're running the dogs around and then they're jumping over things and stuff.
Agility.
That's it. She does that and the dogs love it and she loves it. I think the dogs love it because, they feel like it's a job. They're doing their job. Yeah, it's not that it's a challenge to them, although maybe some of it's challenging. Okay, so, sometimes the animals will absolutely go against what we want. One of my friends, I was over at her house and her much loved cat was running around like crazy thing. And she goes, can you tune in and do something with her, because she will pee on me at night. I sleep. I know. This has a happy ending. She will pee on me at night because I sleep on the couch. And so I tuned in with her, and what I found out is that Morgan was trying to corral her. She was trying to get her to do things her own way. If she just let her do what she wanted to do and run like a nutcase, she would be fine, and she has been fine. Yeah, she also will, climb up the side of the wall and, do all that, but at least she does not do things to her at night. Yeah, yeah. Now, she has a new partner that wanted to close the door at night, and the cat let them know by pooping outside of the cat pan that was not going to work. Yes, I said it was giving a middle finger salute, and it was. Yeah. Do you have example of a story from your life where you really wanted them to do something, but they said, no way, Jose?
So I've got a backyard, I've got some sheds in the back, and I've got a very bossy cat whose nickname is thou that shall not be ignored. And I tried to do some work back in the back part of the yard where the sheds are. She doesn't go outside. She came outside, just sat there and yelled at me. Just sat there and yelled in an extremely annoying way. I was like, what is it? And finally showed me that she wanted me back in the house.
Okay.
Oh, bossy thing.
At least she was clear with you.
It's clear.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great example. It is, it's a great example. Yeah,
Bossy purple.
yeah. What else? I know you all have at least one example. Yes.
I adopted a male rescue, and I had to sign all these papers saying I would never let him outside. So I kept him inside for 2 years. He made a mad dash for the door. I had to put a little baby gate in front. He always wanted to be outside. He got out once and came back after 24 hours. I was so good and hungry but happy. And eventually I just said, you know what, he wants to be in and out. And that's what he is. And he's a happy, well-adjusted cat.
Yeah, yes.
So I always like when my cat comes up, I like to read in bed, and I love when my cat comes up and sits on my chest. But she'll only do it, it seems, if my partner comes in and talks and chats with me, and for a few minutes right beforehand, it's like Penny Cat, here's party, and she wants to come and enjoy. And she's like, she'll look up at the bed, and she'll go, whoo, and she'll spring up, and but then once she's there, she's settled down, she'll be there for 30+ minutes, and it's a struggle to get her off, even if he's gone. And she settles right down when she's on me, like I put my hand on her and I can just feel her dissolve, and I'm like, why doesn't she just habituate to this? It always has to start with a fun conversation that she feels left out of.
Perfect.
I don't know, I've tried to plant images in her head and it just doesn't fly.
Yeah, but that's perfect. You know what she
Yeah.
wants. It's easy. You can give it to her. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when I'll be doing a reading, I'll have something that I'll call a negotiation. I'll say, let me see if they will negotiate. And sometimes they will, and my gosh, sometimes they won't. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I have a thoroughbred who was rescued, who I used to talk to. So he had a very interesting life, abandoned the first 10 years of his life, and we've been working together, and we went to a competition last weekend. At the beginning of the competition, we ride down the middle of the ring, you stop in the middle, and you salute the judge, and the person's supposed to be still. He knows this, we practiced it. The first time down, he was flinging his head, speech didn't stop, he was going forwards and backwards, little steps. We got dinged pretty big, but he still got a ribbon. And he liked the ribbon,
Okay.
he's a showboat.
Okay.
So I had to do, you remember it, so
Yes, I do.
to, like, I felt insane, but I put my hand on him and I was like, look, you just stand there still, you like the ribbon, you need to be still. And for the rest of the weekend, he did it. So, you know, at first he wasn't doing what I wanted him to, but I explained, hey, you're gonna get one of these, but you just have to be still.
You negotiated.
Yeah.
It's like any relationship, sometimes you need to negotiate. You know, any relationship, yeah, okay, great story, I love it. Anybody else have a story like that? Doesn't have to be the same exactly, no?
Do you wanna share the story with my cat with the neighbor?
Oh, yeah, okay, this is one of my favorite stories. Now, and you're gonna have to jump in and fill in some gaps.
So, cat had a hurt foot, cause she's inside outside. And was really hurt, and so had the reading with Mattie, and I said, well, what bit her? It was a dog. I said, well, I'm gotta tell her there's coyotes, she's gotta be scared of the coyotes. And she's kind of a confrontational kid, cat, I go, yeah, I'll show you. So we had to tell her, you have to run away, you can't try to fight. And by the way, when I'm at work, go to my next door neighbor's house and tell Amanda to let you in the house. So we did that.
And it worked.
We were very nice. Well, I had to tell my neighbor, who by the way, you know, was kind of like, okay. So I had to
All right
update
then,
her of
yeah.
the situation. And so. So Saturday we talked, Sunday I talked to the neighbor, Monday at work. And Amanda texts me and says, the cat just ran over, yelled at me in the driveway, and then ran up my back steps. And that has continued ever since. Yeah.
Extremely helpful for everyone involved, yeah, yes.
I have a different kind of story, but talking about or animal companion dogs. When my husband and I got 2 cats rescue service. And they have been mates, they were right before we got them, they were in the male female. When we got them, the male was like, oh, this is great, really lovely. And the female was she was definitely a cat. I mean, she was 3 years old, but I called her size diminutive because her size was kind of between a kitten and a cat. And so the point is, she was just the opposite of him. Don't come near me. Don't come near me. And I was devastated. So what can I do but be patient, loving, feed her, take care of her litter, and don't go near her because she's gonna hit. Now we found that she liked to sleep on her bed during the day, which is a great time to actually get near and pet her. Yeah, and she was, I guess, kind of in a lucid state at that point. And I would kiss her forehead. And she, so, for like 4 months, this went on. And after 4 months, I realized that she was lovable. She was able to receive love. She was no longer afraid. By the end of that year, she was like jumping up on my chair in between the back and my butt
and would stay with me. And she would come up to me. And then I realized she was now not my brother, but loving.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful. Right, and after, unfortunately, she had strokes. 9 years later, she was 12. Anyway, so we had to put her down. But about 8 months later, I was having a psychic reading and the medium said to me, he said, "You plan on getting me another cat?" And I said, "Well, you know, I still have Sebastian. I don't know if that's a, you know, as they say, I don't know if that's a good thing to do." He's now about 14. It's younger, but that the point is, I just didn't know if that's the. So the medium said to me, "Well, Delicia is coming back to you." She said she's coming back. Now, Sebastian is now 17 and a half old and with me, and I'm just so grateful for him and his energies, which were so male, are now very well balanced out now, female. So, you know, when I'm, Lisa, when I'm ready. My story.
Well,
That's
that's,
a lesson for me, a
Yeah.
lesson in unconditional love and patience and compassion.
and negotiation, honestly,
And
that's a
hard-
negotiation.
Yes.
That's a
yes.
negotiation story and a coming back, a reincarnation story. That's actually one of my favorite things to do with people is to tune in to the animals that have gone to the other side, you know, it takes away your fear of death. It just takes it away. Yeah, and they never really leave. And I already said sometimes I get choked up, but they never really leave. You know, they check in on you, they're there. But going back to negotiation, there are some animals that want to please us more than others. Okay, I'm gonna list some animals and you tell me if they want to please or not please. There's individual differences, but there's species difference. Okay, dogs, do they want to please? Not, all they want to do is what you want. That's all they want. Please just tell me what you want. How about cats?
The careless.
They have I think some do.
Again, they have individual differences for the, very much so. For the most part, they're much more independent than dogs are, much more. How about horses? We talked about horses before.
Absolutely.
Do they want to please? Come see, come saw.
I think
Okay, I would say that for the most part, they do, and they consider it.
There's a bond.
Yes, when there's a bond and also their job. It's their job, like the dog is chasing the postal person, it's their job. Yeah, okay. How about wild animals? What do you think? Like I have owls that live out by the pond next to me. Do they want to please me? Do they not want to please me? They care less, but they think it's cool if I'm out there and I'm listening to them and I'm looking up in the trees. They think it's cool. Yeah. Okay. What about some other animals?
Birds,
Birds? Yeah, what do you think? Do they,
parrots,
parrots?
pet parrots.
Yeah, they do, right? Yeah, they love us and they wanna do what we want them to do for the most part. Not always, right?
I want cats.
Like cats,
Respect.
they're independent. Yeah, they're independent.
Are you familiar with a book called Kinship with All Life? by
Yes.
J. Allen?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
love it.
Kinship with All Life, J. Allen.
Yes, very much so.
It's an old book. So for those of you who don't know about it, he wrote a book about his communication with all kinds of different animals, including ants. and skunks.
And flies.
But he was taught by, there was a movie star, German Shepherd named Strongheart back in the 40s. And, beginning of the book, first 4 chapters is about, Strongheart teaching him how to communicate with them.
Okay. Okay,
That's the book that made us go vegetarian back in the 1980s.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I can see that,
That's one of the love of this stuff.
yeah.
What's the name of the kinship?
Kinship with all life, J. Allen. Then
Right? Yeah, and I have another, well, since we're talking about books, there's, this woman that I just think is just the most fantastic writer and the most fantastic human being on earth. Her name is Penelope Smith. Never met her, want to. She's got about half a dozen books, and some of them are on audio tape, and they often contain, exercises to help you hone your skills. So Penelope Smith, she's fabulous.
Okay.
All right, so do we need permission to talk with our animal friends? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like that person that you come up to in the elevator and you wanna have a conversation with, and you can see that it is just not going well, okay? You need to ask first, yeah, ask first. And they, in their answer, they will tell you how they will communicate with you. Will they do shakes, head nods? Will they do words? Will they do whole sentences? I've had them do whole sentences, or will they do pictures? And in their first interaction, they will tell you how they'll.
But
Mhm. Yes,
you're not necessarily talking about your pet companions,
Yes,
I am.
yes,
but
yeah.
Could you repeat that question?
I guess what I'm trying to say is, I mean, I've had Sebastian for so long now that I don't need permission to talk to him. He may not listen, but you know.
Actually, that's my point. Yeah, yeah,
Right, but at least, you know, I'm giving him the option.
yeah, yeah,
But with an animal that I don't know,
yeah.
I let my presence and my demeanor be the door opener, whether he to talk.
That's one way to do it, but actually asking, I think, is also important.
Pardon?
Actually asking, I think, is also important.
Consent goes with free will, right?
What?
Consent to me goes with free will, so if you have
Yes.
free will,
Yes,
you must give consent. If they have free will, they deserve consent.
yes, absolutely, yeah. And you and your current kitty, that's a whole other thing. You're talking about a partnership. Yeah, you probably don't have to ask your husband if he wants to.